now, and the cabinet there could be in for a shake-up. Local media report that Foreign Minister Taro Kono is poised to become the country's new defence minister. Now, this would come at a time when Tokyo finds itself at odds with South Korea over wartime issues impacting trade. It's also looking to strengthen its role when it comes to security issues, especially with North Korea. And CNN's Kristie Lu Stout spoke with Japan's foreign minister. She joins us now from Hong Kong with more. Good to see you, Kristie. So what all did the foreign minister have to say about this, and of course the significance of the timing?
Also, the significance of the relationship between Japan and South Korea and just how fraught it has become. These two critical U.S. allies in Asia locked in a growing trade and diplomatic dispute, and it has been brewing since last October. That was when South Korea's Supreme Court ruled that Korean victims of forced labor could sue Japanese companies for individual compensation. Later on, Japan decided to remove South Korea from a list of preferred trading partners. And then in August, South Korea decided to withdraw from a bilateral intelligence sharing agreement. Earlier, I spoke with Japan's foreign minister about the fractured relationship and what it's going to take to mend it.
I think it's important to keep the people-to-people exchange when the government's having problem. Unfortunately, the Korean visitor to Japan, the number is going down. But we hope to keep this strong people-to-people exchange.
Yeah, it's difficult to, when you have points of tension. For example, you have organizers of Japan's 2020 Olympic Games saying that they will not ban the controversial Rising Sun flag. You know, this is a flag that stirs up very negative emotions among people in South Korea. Would you ask the Olympic Organizing Committee in Japan to reconsider that?
No, it's an official flag for the Japan's Maritime Self-Defense Force, and it's widely recognized. Many places or many countries like state of Arizona in United States or the country like North Macedonia used similar flags. There are certain people in South Korea who try to make some anti-Japan sentiment, but the flag itself is a widely recognized flag, and there's nothing wrong with it.
Do you think nationalism is going to get in the way of any sort of solution here?
Important thing is there's a healthy nationalism, but there are those who wanted to exploit the nationalism for other purpose. And bilateral relationship between Japan and South Korea is very important, not just about the security or not just about the business. So I think it's our job as a politician to create a bridge between South Korea and Japan, even though if there is unhealthy nationalism, I think we need to overcome that.
Now, we know that Prime Minister Shinzo Abe, he will soon reshuffle his cabinet, and there's word that you may become the next defense minister. Having you in that role, would it repair relations between Japan and South Korea and the trilateral alliance with the United States?
Well, I have not heard about anything, so I cannot answer that. Bilateral relationship between Japan and South Korea has been always high on my political agenda. So I will be, whatever I will be doing, I will be working hard to create a better relationship between Japan and South Korea.
Now, I also asked the Japanese foreign minister about what the ongoing spat means for North Korea. Now, Mr. Kono says that whenever North Korea tests, fires, and missiles, something it's been doing a lot recently, the intelligence can now only be shared via the United States. Now, he said that they need to restore shared intelligence, that agreement, and they need to act together. Rosemary.
So, Kristie, how much appetite is there for dialogue on either side?
Well, there seemed to be an opening about in August, a little over a month ago, when the South Korean President Moon Jae-in, he gave this speech. He offered a very conciliatory tone, revealing openness to dialogue. He says, if Japan chooses the path of dialogue and cooperation, we would gladly join hands. So I posed that to the Japanese foreign minister for his response, and he says it's not about dialogue, it's about this verdict. The South Korean Supreme Court verdict that was made in October of last year. This is again when it ruled that Japanese companies that used Koreans as forced laborers during World War II were obliged to pay compensation. Japan maintains that all such claims were settled by a treaty struck back in 1965. So basically, no dialogue until you handle that verdict. Back to you.
All right. Many thanks to you, Kristie Lu Stout, bringing us that report from Hong Kong. Appreciate it.